interpretation of 2:07 to 5:20 a.m. Saturday, the 7th of November, 2015. Dream of Samhain night, Samhain. It may have been pronounced, well, there's Indo-European words that come before the Gaelic and other Celtic, you could call, languages that have a pronunciation more similar to Samhain, meaning something about gathering night or something. Anyways, to interpret the words used in the language of Tanakh or Biblical Aramaic, Aramea is what the language was called contemporarily, I list the following. Ha means point, mark, room, chamber. I was in a room, and particular points of space and marks seemed central to the room. Means success or enterprise. The dream was both the success of 5 days, short of a month, with month 33's spiritual exercise of Ek, and a signifier of future endeavors. When did I formally quit Eckankar? I didn't really plan to at this point. Hum means still, whole, plain, upright, and undefiled. I was undefiled by the serpents and the parts involved. And they had a message when seen as a whole. Shum means breathe, desolate, breath, there, sky, aroma, name, renown, fame, famous, heaven, air, sweet. The colors I passed through might be interpreted as by some as a heaven. The reputation, it's the different heavens. After you leave the green, you go into the pink, orange, blue, purple, violet, and then you pass on to the dark yellow and the lighter and lighter yellows. And then you pass into the white, and then you pass into the black and the clear, The reputation of the entities in the Goetia and what that represents is by each name and symbol there. The final word heard made the place desolate of all creatures except myself. Mat means die, man, mortality, chaos mark, few, friend, number, person, and small. I was small compared with some of the beings. The six seemed to be a friend to every other. The words ended stages of the dream. Those letters were the last sounded when the mark was made out of the chaotic pile of ruby quartz. Ash means press, fire, despair, a strong pressing down, burning, fiery, flaming, and hot. The serpents represent fire beings going along with the message of groups like Eckankar and the possible flaming end of them and their followers. Asham, Aleph, so ox head, teeth, water is what those letters look like, means guilt. Offend, trespass, destroy, faulty, offense, desolate, guilty, sin, guiltless. The reputation of some of the beings referred to by the Goetia is certainly faulty. Inventing bad things about the unseen is an offense that might destroy the guilty demonologist instead. As in looks more like a plus sign, but it's like a person bending their knee in the more Hebrew alphabet, as it progressed towards that. But it means mark, sign, signature. Now in Hebrew, it's often pronounced as the, but anyways, everyone can be said to have witnessed a sign in the 24 categories represented by the runes and have their own role in these 24 categories. The names of these runes are Thia, or cattle, Ur, or rocks, Thorn, or devil. Well, there's certain variations of how to say these names, but Os, our god of wisdom. Rod, our writing. Ken, our torch. Gifu, our gift. Win, our glory. Haggle, our hail. Need. Nied, our need. Sigel, our son. Siegel, our son. Here, our god of oaths and contracts. Bjork, our birch. Our horse. Man, our man. Lagu, our water. Ing, our god of hearth and health. Dag, our day, and Ethel, our homeland. The general categories of each, then are the general categories of each. Fahu is movable possessions. Baruz is masculine potency. Thurisaz is wickedness. And Suz is benevolence. Ra'edo is travel. Kano, or Kanaz, is guidance. Gabo is voluntary sacrifice. Wunjo is joy in possession. Hagalaz is natural affliction. Now Thiz is the necessity to endure. Isa is treachery. Jera is cycle of change. Ihwaz is what may be relied upon. Perth is sensual indulgence. Algiz is warding off harm. Sewelu is divine punishment. Taiwaz is honor and courage. Burkana is fertility. Ehwaz is the physical virtues. Manaz is mental virtues. Laguz is the unknown. Inguz is the family and fertility. Bagaz is totality. Ophila is the native land. The at of the bars, or 8 rune stones, goes as follows. The vertical is domestic, mild, and physical. The depth is wild, severe, and emotional. The width is balanced, just, and intellectual. Oh, I forgot. I didn't list the elements, did I? The mystery is to try. Alt Enochian key, as the stone that resembles the dream stone was in place for a vision in which I was told that I had to try key 11 through 13 separately. The jack is as the ek, or spiritual rod of power, and I may have had that part of the dream repeated during the switch to the year of the chariot on Thursday, October 22nd, 2015. Eckankar teaches that Fubi Quants hands over the rod of Ek power on that day, when there is a transfer of power to a new Ek master. The serpents bore the sigilia like amulets, which I can use and work over the evil which they are believed to have power over. It is believed that the spirits roam the earth at the start of Samhain, or the cross quarter, starting the darkest quarter of the year, which was at 9:44 a.m. Pacific Standard Time on Saturday, the 7th of November. That means that Samhain started at 4:51 p.m. in my location. That or the nearest full moon is the night where the barrier between the physical and the spiritual is the thinnest, which was the night of October 26th through 27th, 2015. But Samhain itself is, not in October. The evil force tries to come in through the worship of personalities, but admitting the results of guilt and not acting merely out of desire, recovers the talismans or tools out of the charms. The doors represent the start of the dark quarter, or Samhain, the start of the cold quarter, or Yule, the start of the warming quarter, or Imulk, the start of the warm quarter, or Astara, the start of the bright quarter, or Tain, the start of the hot quarter, are Litha, the start of the cooling quarter are Lunasa, and the start of the cool quarter are Mabon. The recoloring of them seems to represent 3/8 of the year in the future. Maybe it is a way of calling me to look at where I am versus 5/8 of the year ago. It could also all be to learn more about something that happened in the 8th of the year between the vernal equinox and the cross quarter starting the brightest quarter of the solar year. I meant to share the following words on the 11th of the, on November 22nd, 2015. It is fitting that I had another special dream in its first night. ... These and my own 24 laws are of my own personal chariot. I am never alone and should not be afraid. For this 12th of the year, I placed middle path, balance, and unity upon my Eckankar tarot trump painting. It is like the dream in that self-recognition paints the mental existence in the spiritual way. Perhaps the halo and the piercing of the pink was a prior realization of the ruby quartz. After coloring my own thoughts, a uniting of my lower and higher selves is an ever-moving consciousness.